Classic Hits, My 1059. Hey, it's Willy Tyler, and on the phone today with one of the hardest working musicians in music, Jeff Pilson. Good morning, man.
Good morning. Sorry, my AC guy is trying to call in.
Tell him to wait. Is it hot there?
Yes, he will have to. No, he's calling me about trying to fix up my studio.
Oh, okay.
No problem.
Of course, bass player for Foreigner since 2004, but let's go back even further than that. Of course, you were in Dokken in the 80s, wrote pretty much all of their hits. Dio in the 90s. You're a producer, you're an actor, you've got other side projects going on right now while you're in Foreigner with Black Swan and End Machine. Busy guy.
No rest for the wicked. I'll sleep when I'm dead. All the cliches.
you never slow down. Last time I talked to you was 10 years ago, 2011, when you guys came through and we did that. We teamed up and did that VH1 Save the Music thing where we put one of our local choirs on stage with you guys. Yeah.
Isn't that a wonderful experience too? I really enjoy it when we do that.
Me and you talked a lot about first of all, the Save the Music Foundation, which is important to both of us. But man, what a cool thing for those kids to get to experience.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I think we may, I see stars in their eyes in some of them, and I'm wondering if we aren't perhaps birthing a future music star of some kind.
I wonder that too. Yeah,
it'd be great.
So, of course, 2020 has put a damper on those types of things. We were kind of planning on doing something like that again this time around, but that didn't really work out either, did it?
Right, yeah. I think we're holding off until fall to find out about choirs.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll be able to resume that in the fall, but, it's all going to depend on what's happening in COVID world, and,
right.
That's where our lives have all been dependent very recently, so
right.
It continues to be that, but even though things are opening up, we're being cautious about the choirs right now.
Right. What was your 2020 like? What were you doing with quarantine?
Well, you kind of alluded to it. I was doing Black Swan
right.
and Machine. I did a record with George Lynch, who is my bandmate in Dokken and End Machine,
mm-hmm.
and he and I did a covers record in early in the pandemic. So we started that. We actually started it right around March, and we got offered to do this record of covers, and it was such a great offer we kind of couldn't refuse. So we did that, like I say, early on in the pandemic. Then I did the End Machine record with George in the summer, and then recently I started up a Black Swan record. So I've been staying real busy in the studio, and now Foreigner's getting ready to hit the road again. We actually have done 4 shows already, so
right.
The Machine is happening again.
And End Machine is kind of basically Dokken without Don, right?
Basically, it was on our first record it was Wild McBrown, George Lynch, and I,
mm-hmm.
who are the other 3 members of Dokken. On this record, Mick has now retired from the music business. He has called it a day on the music business, so. Basically, we got his little brother, Steve, who is an amazing drummer, an amazing guy, and a great singer. So we kind of scored, and everything's good.
What did the recording of those 2 albums look like? Were you actually in studio with George, or were you guys like kind of zooming in on things like everybody else?
Well, no, actually, George and I did all our stuff remotely, and it's funny because George actually lives right down the street. So we were both very concerned about the pandemic. So we did it all remotely. There's technology now where I can actually run his studio from my studio,
right.
With a certain program that we use. And then we would talk on Skype to communicate and write and all that. And, it's not the ideal scenario, but it worked out great, and I'm very pleased with the results.
Would have been something hard to do 20 years ago.
If not impossible.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't know how you'd write.
Right.
I don't know how you would have been able to write. That would have been impossible.
One of the cool things that came out of the pandemic is kind of that special section of the Foreigner online store that you guys did.
Oh, isn't that great? Yeah. Yeah, and to explain to the listeners, our crew got really hit hard with this. They, through no fault of their own, they had no work for over a year. So we took it upon ourselves to try and do what we could to help them out. So we raised money for them. We were selling T-shirts. We got companies to donate, guitars and picks and strings and all sorts of other stuff. And we held auctions. and sold the stuff for the crew. And, we raised quite a bit of money for them. And, it's because of the great audience that we have that we were able to do that. And what a great cause.
That was, absolutely. And that's one of the things that we worried most about during the pandemic was not only the band's crews, but the venues as well, of course. Thankfully, some federal money came in to help save some of those stages.
Right. But, yeah, who knows, man? That's a tough one.
What do you have any hobbies that don't include producing music and writing music? Because I know you're a busy man.
Well,
I don't imagine there's a lot of time for that with you.
Well, actually, what's funny is something I am very serious about. I wouldn't call it a hobby, but I'm very serious about is meditation. And during this time, I got asked from some people, hey, why don't you do something online? So I've been holding virtual meditation classes online. So if you go to yoga at hotforyogascv.com, you can find my online virtual meditation class. And then there's other classes as well. There's hot yoga, and there is Pilates, and there's yin yoga. There's all sorts of great yoga programs happening on that program as well. So it's a really, really cool thing.
I can add that to the list next time I talk to you. Bass player, producer, actor, and yoga instructor.
Yeah, I guess so.
Very cool. You guys are, of course, coming to rock the First Interstate Arena at Metro Park June 30th. You'll be a handful of shows in by the time you guys get here. Let us know kind of what to expect out of Foreigner this time around.
Just a lot of energy. Everybody's, really anxious to get out there and play again. So a lot of energy, a lot of audience participation. People are going to be shocked at how many Foreigner songs they know when it gets right down to it. And I think they're going to have fun accordingly. It's such a fun time. It's a great show. And like I say, energy and audience participation deluxe.
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed this year, now that we're coming out of the other end of this pandemic, is the few shows that I've been to, everybody's far more excited to be there than they had in the past. I just got back from Las Vegas, and it was packed like I've never seen it before. So I'd imagine, have your first couple of shows out on the tour, have they been just over-the-top energy?
Yeah, they've been great. I mean, like you say, people are just so happy to have music back. So, yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, we are definitely looking forward to it. I got to go check out that. I did hear a little bit about your cover album with the guys, but I haven't checked into it yet. So I got to look into that before you get here too. But
yeah, and and listen for Will Martin, who sings most of the record. Just an amazing singer, great voice. And we also do a cover of "You Got the Love" by Rufus.
Yeah, I heard that.
and Mark Tureen from the Bullet Boys sings that, and
awesome.
It is absolutely. It's a butt kicker. You got to hear it. It's great.
He's a great vocalist for sure. What's coming in the future for Foreigner? Is there new recordings getting ready to take place?
We are working on some new material. I don't really know exactly when it'll see the light of day, but we're working on it, and we're in no hurry. We're just trying because we want to make it great. So working on new material. Hopefully we'll see the light of day soon. Okay.
Well, we'll be seeing you in just a couple of weeks here at Rimrock Auto Arena, or First Interstate Arena at Metro Park. And appreciate you taking the time to talk again, Jeff. Always good to hear from you.
Thank you, Willie. Appreciate it as well.
All right. See you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks.